Hey everyone, Bill Parish here from GTT Audio, and welcome to the channel today. Well, today is going to be a little different. Today's episode is what I would refer to as my gift to you, the audio community. We did this, a year ago with speaker setup, some suggestions on starting where to place your speakers. I've done it a couple of other times and went over well. And today I wanted to talk about a couple of things that should help you. First and foremost is the old power cord. And how many times do we put a power cord into a component and it's tilting, it's not staying straight? Well, I was at a client, and I'm always looking to learn something, and he had these little devices made by a company that's been around for a very long time called Tripp. And I think they're like $1 a piece. They're these little hard pieces of plastic. And what you do is you simply put it on the power cord and push it back so it's flush on the top. And now that this little bit of plastic with these ridges in it, when it goes into the component, that power cord is staying straight. Or if it goes this way, again, it's straight. It's no more of this or this. It is straight. I got mine. I bought 100 of them. Got them on Amazon. You can't beat it. Tripp, these little power cord adapters. You're not going to go wrong with them. Now, another thing I'm going to talk about, which I find an immensely important topic, is static and grounding. And if you're in the Midwest, if you're in the North, we have static problems. Once that forced air heat comes on, we have real problems with static. And there's not a single year that goes by that someone doesn't blow up a phono stage because of static, or a preamplifier, or a CD player. I mean, I know we're not going up to the CD as much as we used to, but boy, that used to be a real problem. And the guys that don't have analog, you should still listen to this. And as far as turntables, a turntable is a static generator. That's why we've always, with turntables, grounded things. Every phono stage has a binding post. But I'm seeing more and more components definitely have binding post on the back of them. I should not have brought my phone in here. It's going crazy. But yeah, I'm seeing amplifiers, preamplifiers, line stages, phono stages, DACs. I mean, really, everything should have a grounding post on there. With Kronos, we're crazy about grounds. We ground the arm, we ground every piece of the chassis, we ground the motor. It's necessary, especially in a turntable. So first the word about static, and then we'll continue with static, which leads into grounding. I found a client showed me Staticide. Staticide kills static on contact, heavy duty. I don't know how many times, Amazon product, by the way, less than $10. You've got a record on a platter, you pull it off and you can actually hear the static. What I do is take a couple of sprays right on the platter. We have carbon fiber platters, so mats on there, but if you have something, I wouldn't do it to cork probably, but if you've got something smooth, a couple of squirts, wipe it with a microfiber cloth, you're probably good for a week. The stuff lasts. So it's fantastic. Now, yeah, Staticide. And also in the Staticide line of products is something called, this is for an anti-static mat, but it works. You've got a ground on this end, comes with a little loop, but I've already stripped it for the second half of the video. And you know, you have this up there by your, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blue tack it right there underneath, or right next to the phono stage, or the line stage, and I'm just going to touch it before touching anything. It'll drain my static. It's a great device, great invention. Again, $10. Nothing I'm showing you today cost any money. This is all about safety for your equipment. Hey, I don't want your equipment back and have to work on it and have to tell you the bad news. Like when I've seen a hole, yes, a hole was literally blown into a phono stage card from static. I've seen a microprocessor on a line stage. Just it's zapped its brains out from static. You know, it's crazy. Go out and get yourself. Everyone in audio should have one of these. These little outlet testers. They're both the same. This one will trip a GFI. None of you should have your audio system plugged into a GFI. But these. Make sure that the outlets in the room are grounded and are wired properly. And if they're not, get them wired properly. I mean, this is an easy thing. So you do that. And then go out. I got this at Home Depot, but I Googled it this morning, or on Amazon. I typed it in. There's 100 of them on Amazon. But a split bolt connector, okay? And this one rides up and down. It's a bolt. There's a channel in the middle of it. Can you see it? And it screws up and down. So it's a split bolt connector. I got this one by Thomas and Betts, and it says high conductivity copper. You want one of those. Then head over to Home Depot, wherever, and get yourself some wire, some copper wire. Oh, I suppose someone could do it with silver wire if you wanted to go crazy. You might even be able to find one of these in silver. Silver's a tad more conductive than copper, but you know, you're going to need some wire. That's all I'm saying. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ground the system. And what better way of grounding the system than directly to the ground in the wall, which then goes to your grounding rods eventually in the earth outside. It's just the way homes work. So we all have it, otherwise you wouldn't be living in that house. You have a ground in your house. All your outlets are grounded, especially if you've got the 3-prong outlets. And yeah, this is what you do. And there are so many companies out there now talking about grounding and issuing these grounding planes because you don't know what you're doing. And you know, in my opinion, they're taking advantage of you. I mean, I guess there could be some benefits. There's a company in Sweden, I think, that's selling these nice looking boxes filled with horse shit and shipping them over, and it creates its own ground right there. I don't know if it's snake oil or if it isn't, but I can tell you what I'm going to tell you that isn't costing anywhere near that, and it's taking everything right to the ground, to the earth ground. So the first thing you do is you cut some wire. All right, I've got different links here because I know what I'm going to ground. Like that's going to go to my phono stage, and then this one's going to go to my line stage. And I showed you, I already stripped this. This is going to go to my rack. And then I have a long one. I have one that's 9.5 feet, and I already started cheating and jumped on it a little bit, so you don't have to watch me assemble it all. But I've got this 9.5 foot cable because it's going to go up to an outlet that's away from my rack. And it doesn't have to go behind a rack. It just has to go to an earth ground, to a ground in your electric box. So you have 3 prongs on any outlet. You've got your hot, you got your neutral, and you've got your ground. Inside, you've got your hot, your neutral, and your ground. The hot is the copper, the neutral is the chrome, and your ground is green. Green for ground, GG. Remember that. That also goes right to this prong here. So you do that, no other wires necessary. Assemble it, screw it back together. That's done. So now I've got this end, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end and I'm going to put it in here. I've got another wire. I'm going to put it in this way. Got another wire. I'll put it in the same way. You can stagger them if you, yeah, I'm going to stagger it actually. So I'm going to bring that down like this. I'm going to stick this wire in there. And then when I have all my wires there, you may need a separate set of hands and probably some better eyes. Excuse me here. Alright, so I've got that ground wire in there, and now I just tighten it. And I don't think you really need a socket and a wrench. You can kind of do it here, and all my grounds are together. So I'm going to plug this into the outlet 9.5 feet from my system, right in between my 2 audio racks. This is going to sit on the ground. I'm going to put some blue tack on this and put it on my audio rack. And I'm going to take one of these to my phono stage and one to the line stage. And now I'm grounded. There's no question about it. I am grounded. I've got the best ground on earth. I'm grounded to the earth. And anytime I go to my system, I'm just going to swipe my finger, which is going to discharge the ground any static I'm carrying. Well, that's it. Hopefully you like it. If you do, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, share it, comment below. If you don't like it, well, I'm sorry I tried. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.